So, Raghav, welcome to my podcast. This is my opportunity to introduce really interesting people that I've come to know to people that neither of us know.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me over.
You're welcome. So, can you tell the audience a little bit about you, like where you grew up, what you kind of did as a kid, how you got to be the man you are?
Yes. Well, a lot of that we unfolded in our conversations and through the roadmap. I'm sure things would come up. I'll give you the goods for now. The good things.
Okay.
So I grew up in India in a small town called Kota, Rajasthan. My parents were working class folks. My dad has some semi successful businesses, but largely just various things that he dabbled his hands in. My mother, however, was successful and stable with her profession, where she was an associate professor for an engineering university. Um, I grew up just having high academic standards all around me and trying to chase them as best as I could. Through that process, though, I definitely, and as we uncovered, I definitely grew closer and closer to solving different kinds of problems and enjoying that a lot. But over the course of my long journey as a teenager and as an adult, things got lost in the mix. And currently, I'm based out Jersey City, New Jersey, but and an analyst, a consumer behavior analyst for a firm for a startup. Just trying to find my next problem to solve.
Okay. So, your parents had some expectations for you, did they not?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, my father and mother both set high standards for themselves as they grew up, and those got relayed to me. I'm sure in some sense, where I was expected to excel in academics and choose a great path that was economically stable and in most senses highly probabilistic in achieving financial stability.
I'm sure they were well intentioned, like most parents are, right?
Yeah, they were. They did the best that they could in terms of getting me to a place where I could take care of myself, and definitely succeeded in trying to set me up for a good, stable financial life from the very beginning.
But you had a bit of an adventuresome spirit, even as a boy, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you helped unfold, and through that journey that we took together, I was able to rekindle some of that, even as an adult that I am today. Um, but yeah, as a boy, I was always looking for the next adventure, the next exciting thing that challenged me a little bit to go away from the beaten path and explore and make my own way. It came about in different forms, whether me doing some sort of adventurous extracurricular activity or through my own curriculum, finding ways that took me away from the textbook into the real world, away from sort of set norms into doing my own thing.
Now, Raga, if you got to some place in your growth and development where you felt some need to contact me, so do you know what it was that was bothering you, or what was felt like it was missing, or what motivated you to reach out to me?
I think the biggest motivator was that I had realized for a considerable amount of time that I wasn't happy. Um, uh, my goal in life is intangible in the sense that I want to wake up every morning and feel happy and lead a content life. I don't want a number or a metric to get to sort of the best life that I can lead. And that led me to thinking that there are different promises that I made to myself, of where if I checked this box and did this, I would be happy. And all of that came from a preconceived notion that my parents were able to instill in me. Um, I did check those boxes. I did go back to my journey, and I recalled all the things that my father had told me that if I did would lead me into a great place. And I could see none of that happening for a long period of time, and had no visibility out into the future as well. And I, in some ways, I knew that at the crux of it was what I did for a living. I wasn't happy in any of my jobs that I had taken up, even though I was successful. um, so yeah, made me realize that there's someone that I know about that has been successful in his life, is sort of a rebel in his own ways. And I'm talking about Monish. And he introduced the idea of his own owner's manual, and it took me a long search to find you, to be at the core of it, and then a long, even longer sort of wait and convincing myself that that's the right step forward to get to it. But boy, am I happy.
So you were successful, financially successful,
Yeah, I mean, if you have sort of a description of the jobs that I did, and compared me against that job description, I was able to fulfill my duties, and earn a good paycheck for it.
but you weren't happy.
No, I wasn't. I got excited looking at a new problem to solve, but I realized that it wasn't the kind of problem that I wanted to solve.
You think there are a lot of people that aren't happy?
Yes.
I suspect so. So you follow Monish and you realize that there was a time when he was not happy. He was successful, but not happy.
Yeah, I would say so. I would. It's a relative scale. He was extremely successful. I was successful in my own ways. But yeah, I did see him tell his audience that he wasn't happy at a certain point of time. He wasn't wearing his own clothes, in your words.
So you thought it was a hard decision to make to do this, to work with me, huh? It took a while to get there.
Yeah, and you helped me unfold a little bit of that through our conversations as to why it was difficult, but it was basically my notions of what I should be like, so that everyone around me is happy. That led me to fight harder to get to this decision that I need to speak with you.
So you felt a need to make the people around you happy,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did.
even if it was at your own expense.
Yeah, basically that's what was happening. It didn't surface in my own thinking. I wasn't aware that's what I was doing, um, uh, or at least actively aware that that's what I was doing. But I yeah, at my own at the expense of my own happiness. Yes.
Yes, more unconscious than conscious.
Yeah, I would say so.
So you and I talked for probably 15 minutes, right? We talked about the roadmap. What was that first experience like? Do you remember?
Yes, it was great. I immediately ended the conversation thinking, or like I immediately got out of the conversation thinking that I could trust you, and that there's there's more passion and more sort of purpose in what you're doing than monetary benefits. Somebody in my position thinks like that, and I was sort of you put me at ease of giving into the process immediately, and that was very important to me.
Well, your trust is important to me. Have I lived up to your trust so far?
Absolutely, yes. Especially, and I don't know if how you feel about introducing this idea, but supporting me financially through the process and grooming the financial burden the way I can feel comfortable with it. That was a big indicator that I could trust you and I could just be an honest person with you.
Yeah. Was $10,000 a lot to spend for you?
It was, yes, at the moment, or even now, but in a single installment is definitely something that I would be wary of. Helping me space that burden out over the course of 5 months was very helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot for almost anybody, isn't it? It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah.
So it has to be worthwhile. Was it worthwhile for you?
Yes, absolutely. It was more than what I paid for. I got more than what I paid for. I was expecting to come out of our engagement knowing who I am, but wasn't sure if or what I got on top of it was um, 6 weeks or even more of just having a conversation with an incredible person that you are feeling comfortable in addressing the truth and getting a lot out of it personally as well. Professionally and personally was an add-on.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we went through a process of taking two assessments and talking to six people, and then you and I spent time together.
Yes, that's what we did. I was excited through the process because all of that came as a surprise to me. Probably because I wasn't inquisitive enough to understand the process from the get go. I just trusted you to help me with it. So yeah, the test was interesting. You speaking with the people that I know and hold close to me. That was an interesting aspect of it. I was keen to learn what how I'm perceived as, and that sort of I would say helped us get to the crux of the problem too, in some sense. Um,
Did
yeah.
you did you talk to any of the people I talked to and find out how they felt about talking to me?
I did not. No, I would. The one conversation that's still pending is with a close friend of mine whose opinions I hold highly. Who spoke to you, and yeah, I want to unfold some of his thinking about me with him one on one. I trust him to be a little objective. I trust him to be unemotional with this process. Um, and that's something that I will take up soon. But a great thing that came out of our work together was him becoming my partner in the journey that I want to take. So I'm focusing currently on that. I'm just moving forward, which is great.
Okay, now you said you didn't know who you are. You said
Mhm.
that. Now, I mean, you know a lot of things about who you are, don't you?
In hindsight, I did know a lot of things about me, but in some ways, I just didn't. What I mean is, there were things about me that I knew, but I suppressed in some sense or masked in some sense um, to get to where I am. Yeah.
So we talked about discovering your superpower or the thing that you're gifted to do, the thing that you're meant to do in life. Did you discover what that is?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Thanks to all the help that
What is it?
you.
What is it that you're meant to do?
Well, I'm meant to solve problems of physical nature because I have a gift of being able to think about how things work and move and be able to associate that as a solution for a problem.
Do you have an illustration of a problem like that you like to have taken on or are taking on now or want to take on?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that came out of our work as well, and I've stuck to it of trying to solve that problem. I'm trying to develop a physical product. It falls under the realm of mechanical product engineering, and I'm trying to work with my friend where I'm designing that product, and he's going to be handling operations and monetization. But basically, what this is a solution to a problem that's widespread across industrial settings, as well as settings where you would require a mobile workstation. And I'm trying to think of various ways in which I can solve that for consumers.
Is it fun doing that?
It is absolutely fun doing that. I'm quite deep into trying to get that to the finish line and get into a process where I can think about manufacturing it in the right way. And one thing that came out of our conversation was that I like to solve new problems and I'm not interested in scaling one solution. So so I'm super happy that what came out of our conversations was also someone that I was able to identify and get on board with me in my vision, where we could work uh, through our roles, where I stay true to myself and who I am. That's super exciting. Yeah, I'm happy that things are working out in that manner.
So not only did we discover what your superpower is, but also some guidance as to how to use it. Like, don't invent one thing and then just stick with that. You need to be have a variety of things, new challenges all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we ended up discovering through our conversations
Yes,
too.
partner with somebody who likes to do the other parts that you're not gifted to do. Don't think you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah, it was so surprising how easy the process made it for me to find someone like that.
Uh,
I just had to, after we spoke about it through one of our weekly conversations, I just had to go and ask. And I asked, and I gave you the good news next week that he's ready to work with me. So it was that easy. I
uh,
saw that surprise and excitement on your face as well of how quickly we were progressing. But I was sharing that same feeling of surprise, of pleasant surprise that it was that easy all along. So it was great to sort of identify the yeses and the nos, and then work on the nos through some other ways.
Now, we also talked about the wild man, the releasing the wild man in you, right? Not being a good boy.
Absolutely. You don't even know how often I use that in my life now. I'm currently going through some personal engagements where I'm sticking to the wild man that is inside me and not being a good boy.
You
I would
you
love to share a lot of that with you on a different occasion, but yeah, we spoke about that concept and that stuck with me.
you had a great illustration of that. You were telling me you were taking a hike. You were on a hike,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
decided you weren't going to just do what everybody else was doing. What did you do? Tell me what you did.
Yeah, so the context for that is that as a child, I was always going off the trail, and I was always trying to explore what someone hadn't and figure out what that new world looked like. And the whole concept of the wild man with the jungle that it was a part of, that where he took the child with him, was exactly that. And it was quite literally sort of my nature to go around and explore and do things that are challenging, adventurous. I had stopped doing that subconsciously for a very long time, and in the middle of sort of our process, I was also in Colorado hiking, and I found this incredible waterfall, and I just wanted to scale it. I didn't have any reason for it. I just saw places where there were not a lot of people, and I realized that maybe it's tough to get there. Let's figure out if I can. And I was going up for a bit, and I was able to get to some spots which were cool, and not a lot of people were there. But I came across this one particular jump between two big boulders, which generally would have been perceived as a little risky from the people I love and who love me. And I was hearing constantly their voices of not taking that jump, just because I wouldn't be a good boy if I did. And I it's so interesting that I was going through the whole process of letting my wild man out from 0 to 1, standing there for 5 minutes, maybe more. I don't even know how long I stood there for, convincing myself that this is who you are as a child or as a person now, even where you have to take that jump and go out to that other side and explore more. You cannot stop. And and the one thing that helped me take that leap was the realization of the amount of happiness it would give me when I get to the other side and go continue exploring more. And I say no to the voices in my head and let the wild man out. And I did that, and I came back to you next week raving about how I did it. And that was I was really happy at the time, really content at that time.
You know, you exude aliveness now. Just you feel full of it. It's beautiful.
I appreciate that. I do feel it, and I do experience it through my days after we concluded our conversation, and even when we were working together. Um, I do not yet see an out or I do not yet see the finish line of what with the journey that I've taken up. but even the process of going through it and being aware of who I am is just an incredible outcome that I would pay everything to get to.
Well, I hope you stay in touch with me.
Absolutely. So one thing that I do not did not be a good boy about is go and access the community that you've built, that you've so generously shared with me. I'm going to, as I stabilize through my processes of getting things in place, basically uh, doing my full time job while creating my set of work so that I can get there full time. As I stabilize that process, I'm going to start exploring more of your world and learning more and more about it. So I'm
Well,
looking forward to that.
you don't owe me anything. It's your life, and I'm pleased that you're living it.
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, you've been an amazing part of sort of the recent journey that's helped me take the right direction, and can't thank you enough.
Well, Raghav, I'm honored. Thank you for being on my podcast.
Of course, it was an incredible time. Thank you.